Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And tonight, our topic is creating the sanctuary within, owning your stress, owning your health. And my very special guest is no stranger to Conversations with Nicole, Miss Charmaine Lucky Thomas, also known as the Massage Fairy, who will be joining us momentarily. But before I bring her on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn, and your comments and questions are welcome. So please put your city and state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. This is a safe space for us to engage with one another. And look, we already got Warrior Woman Powell in the house. She was in here before we even started, waiting patiently. I love the enthusiasm. Welcome to the room. We appreciate you so much. So before I bring Lucky on, I know this is the day after FAMU homecoming. Some of you all are probably still recovering, and that's all. That's okay. That's all right. You get a day. You get a day of recovery. But tomorrow, y'all need to be on it, doggone it. Okay. Hopefully, you all had a great homecoming. Hopefully, it was safe. You had a great time connecting with your friends and maybe making some new acquaintances. But fall is in the air, and so it's time for us to get on with the business of closing out Q4 strong. So again, hope you all are doing well. And wow, it's this year is fastly coming to an end. It is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share some of Lucky's bio. Charmaine Lucky Thomas is a licensed massage therapist, doula, and holistic health engineer with nearly a decade of experience in stress relief and whole body healing. Known as the Massage Fairy, she specializes in helping people release tension, restore balance, and create sustainable wellness practices. She is also the author of Sanctuary Within, Stress on Your Health, where she shares her signature approach to transforming stress into strength. Y'all help me welcome Miss Lucky Thomas. Yay! Welcome,
Thank
welcome.
you so much for having me.
You are so very welcome. How was your homecoming?
Oh, it was nice. I was able to, go attend a couple of things and just not do too much,
That's good.
so
You
remain safe and pretty sober through it all.
absolutely. You definitely want to pace yourself at homecoming because boy,
You know?
it can take you out. It can. All right. Well, very good. So let's start, I guess, with a little bit about the massage fairy and kind of how you got into massage and some of the other things that you're doing currently.
Okay, so I've been doing massage now for 10 years, a
Okay.
decade now. And I got into massage kind of like anybody gets into any career. Um, but over the time I've gained so much knowledge and so much respect for the practice and how it actually helps people maintain longevity, reduce stress, live happier lives.
Mm.
I've seen so much improvement through so many of my clients, from pain to stress reduction. So ultimately what I do now and have done was help people be happier in their bodies and in their mind. So I now also have a nonprofit organization that's mental health advocacy for women. So we meet once a month. It's called Serotonin Sundays. We have a support group that meets once a month. Um, yeah, so like all of what I do now is about helping people, mainly women. That's my I guess you could say target market because for me, being a mother and an entrepreneur, a student of life, sometimes even a student of institutions,
Mhm.
um, there's always so much and on us, and just I empathize that I am not the only one carrying a lot, and there's other women that are also carrying more and very diverse baggages.
Yeah.
And I just want to help y'all better carry your loads, because I can be honest that the load ain't going nowhere.
Mhm.
But we
Indeed,
definitely have to find better ways to carry it.
indeed, indeed. And I failed to ask my signature question, which is, who is Lucky Thomas? Not what you do, but who are you in your own words?
I'm a black woman.
Okay.
In every way and shape and form, that means I am not a monolith. At all. I am a mom. I am an entrepreneur. I am funny. I am happy. I take everything serious and nothing serious at all.
Okay.
um I'm very faith-based. I'm a very spiritual person. My relationship with God is very important to me. um I'm a friend, a great friend. I uphold friendship and community as very important pillars in my life. Um, yeah,
Okay.
I'm a lover.
Okay.
Ultimately.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So, Warrior Woman came back and said good evening. Thank you for being here. So please, y'all, please like, please share, please tag a friend and let them know they need to be on here. This is going to be a great conversation. We're talking about creating sanctuary within, owning
Mhm.
your stress, owning your health. And so when we talk about creating sanctuary within, what does that mean to you, Lucky, when you hear those words? I mean, I know that's yes, the title of the book, but tell me
Um,
means
for
for you.
me, it's the within part. I think that's
It's
that's
the
the
dead
that's
part.
the part that y'all need to get into.
Okay, all
Because,
right,
like I said, that load ain't going nowhere. The
right.
chaos of the world is going to continue. And it's about having peace on the inside, learning how to take that moment to breathe, learning how to take that break,
Right.
learning your body enough to be aware of when you're experiencing burnout, when you're experiencing high stress, when you're experiencing depression, anxiety, into knowing what to do about it.
Yeah.
That's what creating sanctuary within is. It's, hey, life is going to happen. I have the tools that I need now to deal with life in all shapes and forms.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's creating that peace so that you can keep going.
Yes. So I want to get our viewers involved. What do you all do to maintain that peace that Lucky's talking about? Which is helping to create that sanctuary within. What do y'all do? Let us know in the comments if you don't mind sharing. I see my good buddy. Oh, Sharice, the boys in Atlanta. Thank you for being here. But my good buddy Gerald Tooks is in the house. Thank you for being here, G. Appreciate you. Donda Tillman here in Tallahassee, my good friend. Thank you for being here. Miss Tracy Golay, also here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here, Tracy. And my mom down in Miami, who I spent the weekend with in Tennessee. Love you, Mom. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
Yes. So, what do y'all do? Let us know in the comments. What do y'all do to maintain that peace, to create the sanctuary within? What do you do? Let us know. Safe space, no judgment. Let us know in the comments. What do you do? We got Mama Yada in the house. She said, "Woo, let's go, Lucky." Yes, thank you for being here, Mama Yada. what do you do? What do you do? I mean, this all to me kind of goes back to coping skills, which is something that we frequently talk about here, but you know, it bears repeating, right? It's worth repeating.
Mhm.
hmm
Mhm.
So I will start, since folks are a little slow with the comments. Definitely listening to some soothing music or something that is motivational um, helps me create that sanctuary within. Uh, Sometimes just looking outside at nature. I don't even have to be out there, but sometimes just looking at it, looking at the trees swaying or the squirrels or the birds or the flowers or whatever. Sometimes that'll do it for me as well. It I just think about creation and God and all of that, and it just does something for me. All right, Warrior Woman said reading and doing puzzles and music. Wonderful. Mama Yada said, tell everybody no. Mama Yada. Not everybody. Not everybody. Oh goodness. Gerald said, I'm learning not to say yes to everything. Ooh, that is a very valuable lesson, G. Very valuable lesson. I'm learning that as well. So thank you for sharing that. All right. So sanctuary within. Mm,
So one of the things that I do, since we all just throwing that out there, detox from social media. That
mm-hmm.
is one of the things that I found to be so helpful, especially with this current political climate we in. Jesus, it's so easy to be bombarded with people who just seem to. How can I put this in the nicest way? Not be firing on all cylinders, okay?
All right.
So, in order, and I'm one of those people. I really don't like people like that.
Okay.
So I have to detox from social media ever so often because it's a cesspool for idiocracy sometimes.
It is. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got Miss C. Said good evening. Thank you so much. Warrior Woman Pal, most definitely staying away from social media. Okay. All right. So I think, well, in preparation for today's talk, I do a segment on Michael Cork's morning show. And normally the segment that I do speaks to a show that I'm doing this week. So my segment today was on, and it's based on an article that I found in Psychology Today entitled Self Limiting Your Stress. Your stress is self centered, self created, rather. Your stress is self created. Therefore, you can self limit your stress, right? Because just like trauma, we define it. We decide what's trauma. You and I can go through the same experience, same exact experience. I can define it as trauma. You can define it as not,
Hmm.
right? So we have to understand what our stressors are, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's a part of owning your stress too, because yes, not everybody's stress looks the same
Mm-hmm.
or feels the same. You need to know what your capacity is. What are your triggers? What are the things that drive you the most crazy? Because maybe those are the things that we need to be minimizing, being more intentional about reducing in our life.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it can be just as simple as changing your job. Well, simple and hard, right? Because it's not that easy to be like, oh, I need to change my job. But that is the one thing that triggers you, that sends you at home every afternoon snapping. That job has you in a bad mood, and it's that's the thing that triggers you, and then it goes on. Like if you're a mom and you're working for someone, and that job pisses you off, and you go home and you take that type of energy home, then it affects also your children.
Mm-hmm.
You're rubbing that energy off
Mm-hmm.
onto them. And you wonder why, so many kids are angry kids. Their parents are also angry parents and they're not dealing with it.
Mm-hmm. True. That is very true. So I'm curious around like what responsibility we take in terms of our thoughts about things that are stressors for us or that are traumatic for us. And don't get me wrong, I get it that certain things are they are really horrific,
Hmm.
right? Um so when you maybe think about like death or
Hmm.
certain losses or certain maybe physically aggressive type activities, but sometimes like in case in point, so I worked at a job and we had a very close knit department, and our director retired. Okay, so this was the head boss over everybody, right? They retired. There was an interim person who was the boss in another area, but was again the interim. Shut everything down from the standpoint of what my department was involved in. And we were an outreach department. So that meant we really needed to be out in the community. But they brought us in. We had to be at our desk. People hated it.
Right.
Hated it. The water cooler talk was, you know,
Right.
oh, and then the person that came in after that, there was such fear around this person coming into the office. Half of the office quit without even knowing like what they were going to implement. They just in
Mhm.
their minds thought the absolute worst. And for me, it was I work for God.
Mhm.
They giving me this work to do. I'm gonna do this work. I'm gonna sit at my desk. I'm gonna do this work. I'm not gonna be concerned about the what ifs and all of that. I mean, these people work themselves up in a frenzy, literally. And I was just like, it's really not bad. You know what I'm saying? Just
But
come to
you said
your
it there, Nicole. You said it. You said it right there. You
work.
work for God. People have to find what their passion is and what they truly want to do. What is it that's going to make you feel like you're doing God's work? Because if you don't feel like you're doing God's work in the position, it is going to be easy for you to quit and just, hey, this don't feel comfortable with me because you don't have a mission in your mind that you're sticking with.
Mm,
You don't have a mission that you feel that you're called to be doing. It's so important that people feel attached in a spiritual way to the work it is that they do in life. Or else it's so much easier to create burnout. It's so much easier to be unhappy in a job when you
mm,
don't feel like you're making a difference. You don't feel like you're working in alignment with spirit. What are you doing?
very true.
And unfortunately, we live in a capitalist society where people are pushed into jobs all the time that are not befitting of anyone.
Mm,
you know and we keep up with this social status quo of I gotta have, or I need this, or things have to look like this here in America. And that's why we will always have Amazon workers working for $15
mm.
because y'all can't get off Amazon. Because we live in a capitalist society and we will continue to buy into what's fast, what's cheap, and what's flashy, people will continue to suffer.
Well, I think the Target boycott, for instance, shows that we do have power.
Hmm.
So I don't think Amazon is above our ability to.
No, but it doesn't just got to go to us buying, right?
Hmm.
Where our real power is not just the buy, it's the workforce, literally going to work. And I get that that's such a hard concept for people to understand. I don't go to work, I don't get paid, my bills don't get paid. That's a
Mhm.
hard concept to understand. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, you don't go to work. They also don't get paid. And they only care about what? The green. They don't care if you whether or not, because they're gonna replace you anyway.
Right.
But if we did move together in the ways like the Target boycott, if we did move in those ways when we're talking about employing and not going to work, like everybody just sat home for a week. 1 week. I mean TSA, nobody go to work. And we all just, I don't know, party with our friends. Have cookouts. For just a week.
Well, I think we witnessed some of that, not the party in peace per se, but during the pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
so employers have had to shift in
Mm-hmm.
terms of their treatment of employees with benefits and things of that nature, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That
So,
was and that was a huge, like we even seen a huge shift in the corporations. You doing, that's when pickup and delivery, everybody now does pickup and delivery same day. And
mhm,
Instacart really came big. All of that stuff happened out of the pandemic and out of people's needs. So there is always change can be made, but the people have to be the ones to maneuver it.
absolutely.
We have to be strong enough to do it. But we getting sidetracked now. We talking politics and
We
empowerment
are
and all
not.
kinds.
This is all related to your owning your stress, though. This is what we talking about. Again, I'm like, why are we stressing about this stuff? And
Oh, and we can add. There's
what I'm
so many
trying to
things.
get to. That's what I'm trying to get to the heart of. Like, why
Yes,
are we?
and it's
Why
been
are
even
we?
worse.
Why are we stressing about certain things? Like, that's what I
It's
want to
been
get to
even
the root
worse
of.
because okay, so when I was saying that I was having a burnout
Mhm,
this past week, it's because, and that's why I've decided I'm gonna take a social media reset this week.
mhm,
But along with everything happening with the government shutdown, I have not gotten emails from Head Start. I have a 3-year-old at Head Start.
mhm,
That Friday, if the government shutdown isn't resolved by Friday, Head Start will be shut down.
mm,
I'm not exactly sure if that also affects ELC,
mhm,
where if people can't take their kids to daycare, how will they get to work? And then you talking about cutting, like if the government also stays shut down, people won't receive food stamps next one. You can't go to work to get the money to feed the kids. Like, oh my God. Not to mention, okay, yeah, my kid's not going to school because of Head Start, but what about all of those people who work for Head Start?
mhm.
Those are thousands of jobs.
Yeah. I
What?
mean, you are right. You are. I get it. I understand.
It's a truly big deal, and I'm not even going to say that it's something you can fix with deep breathing, because you're talking about people's livelihood and security.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a few more folks that have joined us. I need to pause and acknowledge them. My sister Shayla down in Miami, thank you for being here. Felicia Dilbert, thank you for joining us. And Ka 2021, thank you for being here. Donda says she's gardens and cooks. That's how she creates the sanctuary within. I love that. All right. Let's see. And she also said preconceived notions always bring stress. Yes, I agree. That's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm trying to get to, Donda, is these preconceived notions. Because sometimes we get all wound up in, you know, and it's not as bad as we thought it was gonna be. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Right? Sometimes.
Definitely.
I'm not
And
saying,
that's where
not
faith.
saying I'm
That's
not saying all the time, but sometimes we do.
I definitely feel like that is the one of the things where faith definitely comes in at. You in life, you have to have strong faith because yeah, and things always work out. You will figure it out. But let's not act like when you're going through a storm it ain't dark.
Mhm. Absolutely.
There very well may be sunshine
Mhm.
the next day.
Right.
But it's still, what do we do for the people in the storm?
Mhm.
And that's the facts.
Yeah.
More important than now, and that's another part of in creating sanctuary within. It's about creating community too. Now more than ever, it is more so important that we have people around us we can depend on and that can depend on us.
Mm,
You create that community in the event that these things that you may use are no longer able to be used. So there
absolutely.
are definitely things that you can do. But like I said, with anything else, major lifestyle changes are just that, major lifestyle changes.
They are. They are.
And I recommend, just like you were bringing up death and a couple of other things. You need to talk to somebody. And I was telling my friend today, the other day, it's like it's hard sometimes to get people to hear you. It's almost like you literally have to pay someone to listen to you talk about your problems. So then you think about healthcare and all those things
Well,
being an issue.
that's exactly why we have counselors and therapists.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly
But
why.
then exactly, and then we have that's why, and then we talk about healthcare being an issue.
Mhm.
My healthcare, I was getting healthcare through the Affordable Care Act. My healthcare was $96 for the last 2 years. This last month, the last 2 months, it went up to $1,000.93.
Mm,
I can't afford healthcare.
yeah.
Not through that. I have to now explore other options.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah, that's
That's a lot of
incredible.
people
That's
reality.
incredible. That is incredible. Yeah.
I've had, even this year, I had several clients lose their jobs.
Mhm.
So even though I'm self-employed, so I'm not affected by that directly about people losing their, but I am though.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, you
am.
are, but you are, yeah. Because if they lose their job, you're gonna lose yours. Because they're not gonna be coming to you, right?
Correct.
Right. So Warrior Woman said, what about the parents with children in special education? I think asking, your question or asking additionally to your question regarding the children.
And listen, I can say I don't have the answers. That is a stressful. I think about it. Right, I have friends with kids with disabilities,
Mm,
that need extra care, that need their Medicaid, that need, and so that's one of the reasons I say that. I work with women mostly because I see the amount of stress firsthand
right.
that women and single mothers carry, especially when dealing with, especially being a single mother, and dealing with navigating healthcare, navigating food stamps, navigating childcare, navigating if your child has special needs and you still having to work, and then with everything changing, also having to navigate the change by yourself.
Right.
So
So
that's
you
why you create groups. I think it's important to create groups, create community,
right.
reach out and learn. Go to as many events that you can to get as many resources as you can. I am glad that I come to events like mental health council of the Big Bend events, where there's many resources that are available to women, children, families, fathers, and all.
Mm-hmm.
So I say reach out, go out into your community, ask, even if you may not be the person that need it, go out to these events and find out these resources, because now you're a part of a community that can help someone else.
Yeah.
Learn about the resources that are out there. There are out there, so that you
Absolutely.
can help other people and you can help yourself. It's very important that we not act like we don't live in the age of education, the age of the phone, the age of Wi-Fi, the age of the internet.
Mm,
It's very important that we not feel hopeless and be empowered in our strength
absolutely.
and be empowered. Look how far we have come as a people.
Mm-hmm.
We must be empowered in that and use what we got to get what we need.
Yes, ma'am. So a few folks have chimed in. Laquita, good evening. Thank you for being here. Sherry Sutton Johnson, thank you for joining us. And Roz also checking in from Tallahassee. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Warrior Woman said I had a flight scheduled for this week and it was canceled out of I canceled out of concern of getting stuck in Maryland, DC. It was a stressor. Absolutely. I
Hmm.
I understand that. Um
Yeah, TSA has been with the government shutdown has been affected. You know, I was actually worried about, well, not necessarily worried, but I was just like, dang, homecoming might be a little slimmer this year because of that.
no,
It wasn't.
it was
It
they was coming out
wasn't, but I'm just saying
they was coming out here to
it
relieve
was a
stress.
thought before that, you know. But I know that I know a few friends that had a hard time on their flights to get
Gotcha.
here. Mhm.
Gotcha. All right, we are about halfway through our conversation. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, I am on with Charmaine Lucky Thomas. We are talking creative sanctuary within owning your stress, owning your health. And I want to encourage y'all to share this with a friend, like, tag a friend, tell them they need to join this conversation. So, some of the things that we initially talked about were how we create sanctuary within. Some folks said saying no or learning not to say yes to everything, doing social media breaks. We had gardening, we had cooking, we had music, nature, all right, faith. Those are all things that were mentioned. And then some of the solutions that we talked about in terms of owning your stress are creating community, being parts of groups, faith, and learning what the community resources are. So, all right. Donda said we need to go back to being a village. Agreed. When I grew up, we knew our neighbors and really cared about each other and truly lived. I am my brother's keeper. I believe it. And Warrior Woman said, I agree with the village concept. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely agree. I think I was actually right
Mm-hmm.
doing research on my family history and just like the history of cities and how we got into cities, and how like minorities don't really like we don't really be in like of course we, you know, we have Quincy, but it's like when you go into Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, certain towns, I mean certain states like that, you don't see a lot of African American people like in the country parts of those states. We moved to bigger cities, and I think it's because we felt safer in bigger cities, but we're actually still further apart from our people.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Like, because when you're in a city, you have districts and this, that, and the other. Everybody doesn't go to the same school. Whereas when you're in a small town, everybody go to the same school.
Right. I mean,
Everybody goes to the same community center. Everybody goes to, whereas we are way more divided in cities, in bigger cities.
mm, yeah, yes and no. I mean, I guess it just depends on where it
Mm-hmm.
is. I mean, I think, of course, African Americans migrated to where there were jobs and opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to get away from some of the Jim Crow
Right,
laws.
and violence, and I'm agreeing. That's what I was saying. But I
Mhm,
just don't feel like cities actually benefit community, is what I'm saying.
mhm.
You get what I mean? But I also think that, just like I said, the capitalism society, where we have moved to, people have to work so much that it is hard to even build that community.
Yeah, it can be a challenge. Enigma Sep just joined us talking about Nicole thinking about Miami, Detroit. Yeah, and Chicago and DC and a whole bunch
Mhm.
of other places. So yeah. But if all of your family didn't move, because like I know folks that, were from Georgia, but like the oldest child moved to Miami and then all of the other siblings moved to Miami. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that kind of kept their family together because all the other siblings moved down,
Move, yeah.
right? But in
And
my
that's a really beautiful thing. I think another thing that we have a problem with, right, in Black communities is
Mhm.
this colonialized therapy that is dividing our families.
Mm,
That
okay.
is telling, like, I get that there is a lot of trauma in our families, like drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and this, that, and the third. But we don't come from the same background as our white counterparts, and
Mhm.
we have to extend some level of extra grace to our family because of it.
Mm,
We
gotcha.
don't have the privilege to just cut people off,
Mhm.
because it's so, like I said, it's so important right now that we create community, and it's quite not that easy. And
Mm,
so you got to kind of, what's it called, salvage what you can out of those familiar roots.
mhm.
And
Mhm.
although some things may seem uncomfortable, um if they're not actually, traumatic, just we need to learn how to and communicate and actually problem solve together
So
instead of
that
writing people off.
listen, that is the key right there. Where is Mama Yada? Principles of what is her
Problem solving.
yes, principles of problem solving. I saw her last week on campus during homecoming and I bought the Pops book. Principle of problem solving. Adults and children need that. Okay.
Correct. Yes. So that is one thing I think we need to really sit back and talk about how, we cannot afford to just write people off, and how
Mhm.
we can fix some of these relationships.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Warrior Woman said, my father's family moved in groups. Yes. I mean, I think that was very popular, especially, back during the 40s, 50s,
Great
60s.
migration. Hmm.
Mhm, mhm. Because again, they wanted more opportunity than just, maybe being maids or working in the fields or, any of that
And
kind
I
of
think that's a beautiful privilege when you can, like, your family was healthy enough to, move together
mhm.
and to do that together, because, oh, child, like,
Well,
everybody doesn't have that.
right. But I think, as that maybe one or two persons got this opportunity, they, help bring the
Right,
other
right.
so that they could all come and thrive together. So, but I think to your point, you know, folks that are living in more metropolitan areas, there is kind of a lack of that closeness maybe. And so like
Hmm.
already stated, you have to build that community through, you know,
Intentional.
your work relations or your worship relations or, any maybe
Hmm.
like hobbies that you have, you can form community within those groups. So,
And that's the best way to do it, because trying to do it like outside of, circles that you're already in, or places that you already are, is gonna be harder.
yeah.
It's gonna be extra stress, basically. It's
Mhm.
gonna make the task more stressful. Um, Whereas when you can start where you
Absolutely.
already are.
All
Mhm.
right, Mama Yada said, "Ooh, Lord, principles of problem solving. Yes, pops, they need it. They need it, Mama Yada." All right, and Donda said, "That's why you have to build community wherever you go." Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so I think we have talked about owning your stress some, and so owning your health. We've talked around that a little bit as well. I think some of that owning your health is going to be the things that we always talk about on Conversations with Nicole, which is making sure you're drinking plenty of water, making sure you are getting enough rest, right? Making sure you are eating healthy foods, not a whole lot of processed foods, right? Making sure you are going to get your checkups, right? Your annual physicals, making sure you're getting those teeth clean once, maybe twice a year, making sure you're brushing and flossing every day. And I know this may sound really elementary or rudimentary, these things that I'm talking about, but this is how we own our health, right? Making sure we get our eye exams. We are, going for women to get our pap smears and all of that sort of stuff. Men, making sure you get your prostate checked, making sure you do your colonoscopies, all of these things that we need to be doing to make sure we own our health, because our health is our wealth. And to the extent that we don't have it, it's going to be difficult for us to do anything. All right. I think we got Lucky back. Here we go. All right.
Um,
And
I
so
am. I don't
technology.
know if you can hear me, but I
I,
cannot hear you.
oh my goodness. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yes.
Shit.
Hold on. Let me put a message in the private chat. Hopefully she could do that. All right. All right. Well, hopefully she'll come back. Having some technical issues, but that's okay. All right, E, he said I need to get more sleep. Okay, E, so let's do it. What's gonna be your bedtime? We gonna make it 10 o'clock. We gotta have like a um a wind down ritual that we do, right? So whether that is, you gonna bathe and uh put on some soothing music as you get in the bed, you're gonna meditate, you're gonna journal, what you gonna do before you get in the bed? We gotta get you a ritual going. Somebody told me that the other day. I told them I'm finally like getting into the bed at a decent hour, but you know, it's just if not, I stay up and continue to work and work and work and work and work until my body just is like, I can't do it no more. And that's not good. All right, Lucky.
Yes, I
All
am.
right. She is back. All right. So owning our health. So I was just saying, all of these things that we have to do to own our health, right? We gotta do maintenance, which is just kind of what I say normal things are, but sometimes we forego those things, right? We don't get enough sleep. We don't eat healthy foods. We don't drink plenty of water. We don't exercise. We don't, but we got to, right? Laquita said, taking care of self. I had to learn that taking care of myself isn't selfish. No, it is not. It's strategic. Amen. My health is my wealth. I'm big on teaching this to my children. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, and that's gonna be a lesson that's gonna last them a lifetime. Donda, in those eras, they were moving away from trauma. Indeed, indeed.
Mhm.
But also moving to trauma to some extent because, it was not always the grass wasn't always green on the other side. But you are right, Donda. I agree. So, owning your health, owning your health. What's your thoughts on that, Lucky?
So, what we need to talk about, because everybody is like, "Oh, stress is bad, stress is bad." Yes, stress is bad, but do you even know what stress is?
Now tell me, what is it?
So, they're actually active hormones in your body, right? We got three different kinds of stress hormones in our body. We got adrenaline, cortisol, and norepinephrine. And
Okay.
the one we need to be the most conscious of is cortisol. That's our long term stress hormone. That's the one that builds up in your body and can cause heart disease, heart attack, autoimmune disorders. So
Mm,
when we talk about owning your stress, when I talk about putting yourself first, when I talk about self care, it's not just like a hypothetical or something that's supposed to make you like feel good. No, actually scientifically improving your health
okay.
and reducing your risk of heart disease, heart attack, autoimmune diseases, and things like that is putting yourself first and reducing your stress.
Okay.
Like we are seriously getting into being proactive about our health.
Mm,
We're talking about beating the blood pressure medication before they put it on you.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and that comes down to it may be little or big things. One, strengthening your faith, major lifestyle changes of eating healthy, quitting that job that's stressing you out.
Mhm.
Shoot, it might even be get them kids to their daddy. I'm just saying. What you need a break, you need to really hone in on reducing your stress. Maybe you need to do that radically, because let me tell you, things like lupus will
Mm,
change your, if you won't change your life, lupus will. If
mhm.
you don't change your life, a heart attack will.
Yeah. 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 You are absolutely correct. All right. Warrior Woman said a doctor said we should not sleep with our cell phone in the same room. I've heard that one before.
Ooh, child. And I got two of them right by my head.
I normally have mine in mind too. It's
I'm gonna
normally
buy me a Faraday bag.
what is that?
That's one. It's a bag that you put your electronic devices in, so it won't emit any electro radiation. But
Ah,
it also like won't you won't have no signal either.
oh, okay.
So it
Nice.
can't like your phone won't hear you. You know how we be like your phone be hearing you because the ads pop up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
None of that will
Okay.
go on in the Faraday
All
bag.
right. Nice.
So you can feel free to talk about you know
Things.
whatever you want to.
Yeah. Cortisol is the devil, he said.
Yes.
Yes, and he laughed at get them kids to their daddy. Donna, don't just go, but advocate and educate for your health. Absolutely, Donna. And I'm glad you said the A word advocate because ooh, in this day and age, even with all of the technology, when you think that you have a health team, they are not necessarily talking to one another about your health and your body and your issues. And so you have to stay on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
educate and advocate. So thank you for sharing that. All right. So you said the three stress hormones, and we need to be mindful of the cortisol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the adrenaline is your fight or flight hormone, and it's a fast action. It's like a quick one. It's like your reflex for danger and stuff like that. So it does not last in your body as long. Cortisol is the one that's going to last in your body, build up, and do the most damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's the long term stress hormone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what was that other one?
Norepinephrine.
What does that one do?
It's adrenaline's partner, so they work together. It's the one that helps you like stay sharp.
Okay.
You ever notice like something happening, your reflexes just be on point? This is
Mhm.
like your reflex hormone kind of,
Okay. Gotcha.
but it's also a part of fight and flight
Okay. Got
mechanism.
Okay. Cool.
Hmm.
All right. Miss C said you are your own liaison. You gotta be for sure. You gotta be.
Hmm.
All right. So what about stress cycles?
Ooh, yes. So yes, let's talk about the stress cycle, right? When we're talking about the stress cycle, you have three parts of the stress cycle, three stages. So you got alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. And the cycle continues. It goes on and on and on until you break it. And breaking the cycle looks a lot like um it looks a lot like shaking it off, screaming it out,
Mm,
an actual release of some sort. So you have to actually release the stress from your body physically in some type of way. That's why people exercise.
mm,
Exercise is a good thing, primal screaming outdoors, grounding yourself, shaking, dancing,
cry.
all of those things, crying
Mhm.
is also a great way to release that stress cycle. Oh, that
Okay.
makes me feel so much better about yesterday.
Good. Alarm, resistance, and release, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes,
Did
yes.
y'all know that? Because I didn't know that. All right.
Alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. The release doesn't happen until you release. So
Okay.
the cycle keeps going until you break it.
Got it. All right. Alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Resistance to the stress. And then it just wear you out.
Mm-hmm. It
Ugh.
just wear you out until you're exhausted. Like you're gonna keep going. It'll be a slight, oh, I'm tired one day, right? Until you just blow up and explode.
Mm,
And you have a meltdown. So it'll be like, oh, I'm tired because of the stress. I'm stressed out, so I'm tired. I'm stressed out, so I'm not eating well. And it'll go on and on and on until you notice it and do something about it.
mm,
Sometimes you will have a full breakdown, or what we call it, burnout.
mm-hmm. All righty. So that's the stress cycle.
Hmm.
All right. And then what does this do to our nervous system?
It sends your nervous system, when you're stressed out, it's all over the place. Like, you're highly irritable, you're extremely sensitive, your
Mm-hmm.
nervous system is not calm, right? Um, so your anxiety levels are up. You're gonna be more anxious. You're gonna be more restless. Like, all of that is a part of your nervous system. That's why the hormones, everything works together, right? We have to get control of our hormones so that our nervous system acts the way that it needs to act. Our hormones directly affect the nervous system. So when your stress levels are high, those stress hormones are high, your nervous system is also going to be out of whack. In order to give your nervous system balance, we have to control the hormones. We have to balance the hormones. In order to balance the hormones, we have to live a healthier, stress reduced life that looks like eating the right foods, that looks like exercising, that looks like changing the things that are in our life that are stressful, that are overextending us, that we really want to say no to, but we ain't saying no to because we feel so obligated. Nah, say no to that. Stop that. Stop that right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Especially when you're doing, and a lot of us extend, remember when we were talking about community? Community looks like reciprocation, right? Community looks like I can depend on folks and they can depend on me. If you're in relationships, not just romantic, but friendships or whatever the case may be, where you're constantly giving, 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 and there is no reciprocation, we need to reevaluate what's helpful in this community and what's helpful to us and what's not. We need to reevaluate where we may be overextending ourselves and not getting anything back. Because that's stressful, right?
Right.
Pouring your cup and never getting anything poured back into it is stressful. We take account of it, even if we don't say it to them or to anybody else. You are taking account of it.
Yeah.
Mentally and emotionally. And also, we also have to take account into, like, the type of relationships we are, because it plays a part in your self-esteem.
It
right?
does. Yep.
We start to think that, oh, well, we're not deserving of that because it's just not being given to us. That's not true. We need to move in a way that we feel deserving. We need to get ourselves around those people that know how to reciprocate. Leave the ones that don't know how to fend for themselves.
Ms. Donda said many pharmaceutical trials are not done on African Americans, so they don't necessarily work for our issues.
I
Great.
agree.
Miss Jeanette in Miami Gardens, thank you for being here, Miss Jeanette. She said, good to know about cortisol. I try to not stress, which causes vertigo to spread. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Dr. Lee, Saranda Lee is on. She said these hormones make endocrine disorders like diabetes more difficult to control. Oof. Lord, thank you for that, Dr. Lee.
Because the endocrine disorder is like a hormonal disorder.
She said managing
hormones.
managing a disease like type 2 diabetes is already stressful. Have to break the stress cycle. Yes.
So my mother has diabetes and she's always high stress. And it is like completely unmanageable for her.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, Laquita said, let's talk about a conversation for another day. Okay, we can do that. We can absolutely do that. All right. So, all right. So we kind of have touched on a number of the things we wanted to. It's probably definitely worth a part 2 to this conversation. But stress cycles, nervous systems, and the hormones affecting the nervous system, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you'd like a great guide to owning your stress and owning your health, I definitely recommend that you pull up and go find that link on my Instagram. It's going to have the ebook on it, and the ebook actually comes, if you buy the bundle, it comes complete with a guided prompt journal and 3 guided meditations. It's only $33, and you get a free stress management coaching session. So I recommend that to you. Go and get that. make a post about it, whatever. I appreciate it. Get that book. Also, if you're really interested on like detoxing and relieving stress and resetting and reprogramming your life, we are having a retreat at the end of this year, December 19th through the 21st. This is only the beginning detox retreat for Serotonin Sundays, and it's a 3-day retreat here in Havana, Florida, and it's only $700. Only $700. Although your lodging and food and everything is included. We'll be doing wellness workshops, womb workshops, morning yoga, sound healing, and much more. So you don't want to miss that. And follow me on social medias.
All right, very good. And so that is a women's only retreat.
Yes, women only.
Mm-hmm. But the stress, let me see, the creating sanctuary within bundle is 33, and that's for anybody, right?
Yes, that is
And
for anybody.
and if you get the bundle, you can get a free stress management coaching session with your purchase. So
Mm-hmm.
IG is Instagram at the
Yes.
massage fairy. Yes, at the massage
And
fairy.
in the link on my Instagram, you can find all that information.
Mm-hmm. So y'all definitely want to follow Lucky and book a massage. Listen, 'cause she is
Come check out my green room. You like it in here? Look, only
got
22
all,
plants.
she got all the plants and everything. Listen, she is in the green room right now. Okay,
With the sound bowls and everything. Y'all come
and the
vibe with
bowls and
me.
everything. I
We
was
have soul stretch sessions in here, and that's an integrative mix of sound therapy, meditation, and Thai stretching.
I was trying to get her to bless us with some sound bowl tonight, but we'll have to have her come back and do that another time. Another time. But anyway,
Time.
uh we want to encourage y'all to create sanctuary within and own your stress, own your health. And so this has been, I think, a great starter conversation with
Mhm.
much more that can be covered. So, but hopefully you got some nuggets tonight that you can benefit from and that you can share with others. So, if this has benefited you, please let us know in the comments. Again, just the introduction on creating sanctuary within, owning your stress and owning your health. Some of the things that we talked about doing is creating community groups, your faith being a big part of the solution. You got to have
Mhm.
something to believe
Big
in.
old faith.
Yes, yes, and then community resources that are available. And since you mentioned it, shout out to the Mental Health Council of Big Bend. Both Lucky and I serve on the Engage committee for that group, and they are actually getting ready to have their. Well, we are getting ready to have our. Oh, I'm trying to pull a flyer up.
Women's event.
Yes, so it's the Black Women's Emotional Wellness Experience, and that'll be on Monday, November 3rd, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Walker Ford Community Center. Our theme is the Garden of Care, care standing for cultivated, attentive, rooted, and enriched. And this event is for women, but specifically, we want to touch the women that touch women and girls, Black women and girls specifically. So, especially your um, folks that work in the beauty field. So your beauticians, your makeup artists, your nail techs, your massage therapists, your
Mhm.
your regular therapists, teachers, coaches, advisors, trainers, all of that. And so we plan on loving on them. Child care will be provided. We'll have food. We'll do a talk on our garden of care. So it's gonna be really, really good. So inviting the community, black and brown women specifically, to come out and be a part of that on November 3rd, Monday, November 3rd at Walker Ford Community Center. I know Lucky has posted it on her social. I plan to. I just been busy, but I will. I will post it soon. So anyway, take advantage of resources like that because they stand to benefit you greatly. All right. So Ka said yes, very good. Thank you. Okay. Enigma said clock it. All right, thank you, E. And Warrior Woman said yes, very beneficial for me with RA and combat PTSD. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. All right. And Mom said it's very valuable to me. We need more. Thank you, Mom. We appreciate you. All right. Well, again, please follow Lucky. Please, keep up with what she has going on and take advantage of her ebook. Take advantage of the retreat she has coming up, Serotonin Sundays. Follow her on Instagram so you can keep up with all of the things that she has going on. And we will have to have you come back on for a part 2 to this discussion for sure.
Yay. I look forward to it.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, good people. Well, that's all we got for you for today. But on Wednesday, we'll be talking about fair housing. This is like a Q4 update on fair housing. Dante Bonner with the Florida Commission on Human Relations will be on, so you don't want to miss that conversation. So y'all have a great night, and we will catch y'all soon.
All right. Take care.
Bye.